Numbers are starting to diverge from now on. On the Rider White, you're going to see probably slightly different numbers than in the others. I have followed the Mythic Tarot sequence, and this is slightly different from the Rider White sequence. One of the many expressions of Venus and the Moon, the two feminine energies, but neither the Moon nor Venus, to me, fit exactly the image of what this card is about. And I was very happily surprised to discover that there is something there in astrology, even though not so popular and not that much used just now. But I think it's probably going to become a bigger factor in the birth chart over time. Is one of the big four asteroids called Ceres that fits very well, almost like a glove, the mythology and astrology of what the Empress is about. It is a feminine card. You would see several feminine cards as we go along, portraying women in their expressions in different ways as women, as mothers, as sisters, as lovers, and so on. But here we've got the myth of Demeter, the Earth Mother. It's a very earthly goddess, patron of agriculture and fertility, fertility in nature and fertility in human beings, as well as the source of, children getting born and then taken care of. So she's the patron of everything in nature, especially small, young creatures. Ceres is one of the four expressions of Venus mixed up with Moon. The daughter of Demeter is Persephone, whose mother Demeter wanted to keep to herself longer than was necessary. It basically didn't let her daughter grow up and wanted to, keep protecting her, feeding her, relating to her as a small child, even though now this was a grown-up woman that needed to enter the world on her own and find her individuality. Demeter lost her daughter when one day, out of a sudden, the god of the underworld, Hades, abducted her to the underworld when she was out for a walk. Too much earth. It's too much concentration on the earthly, bodily part of life, which has no spirit in it at some point, and which becomes suffocating if it's not balanced out with something else. The reason why eventually the daughter was abducted and there was this, violence and a surprise and so on, and she was never the same again after, was because the mother had become, in a way, a suffocating mother. Too much care and too much earth. I made it sound a little bit more negative than it's probably worth, because it is the symbol of fertility, it's the symbol of something getting born out in the world, materializing. Ceres is a caretaker energy, what we need to feed to ourselves and what we then feed to others. This card also asks us to take care of our bodies and to honor our bodies. Hermes, the previous one, was more about the mind and the intuition, while this card is about your physique, whatever nature gave it to you to be, and see how you can make the best of it. Ceres is the largest of the asteroids, and it's part of the asteroid belt between Jupiter and Mars in astrology. And I think they're very worth exploring, because those four different types of women the four asteroids represent, if you see them in your horoscope, especially if you're a woman and one of them or several of them turn out to be prominent, then they show specifically how you're inclined to express yourself as a Venus moon, like a mixture between Venus and moon. All of the four asteroids are covering that portion of the zodiac which is Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, the relationship section of the chart.